It's the Cozy Rainbow Podcast time.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Cozy Rainbow Podcast. My name is Tammy, but my students know me as Miss Tammy.
My name is Joe, and I get a sinking feeling about this episode.
Uh-oh. Today we're talking about the Titanic. If you don't know the Titanic, well, you're about to find out. But let's start off.
It's a pretty big deal.
It's a Titanic deal. Number 1. Which of the following is not a contributing factor to the Titanic sinking? A. Icy weather conditions. B. Not enough lifeboats. C. The boat was moving too fast. Or D. Brittle ship material.
So what was not a factor in it sinking?
Yeah, like this didn't make a difference.
The lifeboats, probably. Those are useful after the fact.
Okay. Nice answer. Number 2. Which of the following artifacts was found on the Titanic? So only one of these is real. A. A telex machine. B. A sapphire gemstone. C. A $3 bill. Or D. An alligator skin purse. Pretty random.
You're right, and as such, I will answer randomly, and I'll say the $3 bill.
Okay. Number 3, true or false, a marine geologist is someone who studies the history and structure of the ocean floor. A marine
that's true.
geologist. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to answer these trivia questions and give even more fun facts, or maybe like not so fun facts about the Titanic right after this quick message from our sponsors. In the year 1912, the largest man-made object at the time set sail, the Titanic. The Titanic was a huge and luxurious ship with 2,200 passengers that traveled from South Hampton, England to New York City.
Oh, it set off from... Wow, okay.
From
All
England, yeah. Did you know that?
So then I got the dollar thing wrong because they don't use dollars in England.
Oh, that's funny. I would not have even... I love that you put that together. I would not have thought of that. And it is true, that one. You did not get it right.
They use pounds.
A $3 pound. Okay. I'm going to start off telling you why the Titanic sunk. The shocking thing about the Titanic is that people called it unsinkable.
That's a scary thing to say about something.
Yep, the Titanic
was... In retrospect, at least.
Yes, in retrospect. The Titanic was considered to be unsinkable. The Titanic sunk slowly after crashing into an iceberg. Many factors contributed to the speed that the ship sunk. So some of these conditions, the boat was going too fast and it was too icy outside. The crew did not have binoculars to be able to see icebergs that were going, they were going to crash into them. They were oncoming icebergs. The underwater geologists, also known as marine geologists, later discovered that even the material of the Titanic, it was more brittle than the typical ship.
You got some nerve calling that unsinkable then.
Yeah. A big oopsie daisy. The Titanic was as long as 3 football fields, and it had 1,000 loaves of bread on board to feed all the passengers.
That's all they had? Just bread?
No. I'm just trying to give an example of like that's how much bread was going to be eaten. I'm sure they had other food.
Okay, jeez.
Oh,
good.
That's too funny. Because I'm like, I can't even eat a loaf of bread in a week. Like if I try.
Well, that's all you have to eat. I mean,
if it was all I had.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Bread.
Yum.
Okay, so the Titanic, it actually could carry 3,547 people, but on the first trip it was 2,200, also known as 2,200.
Right, okay, that's the first thing technically good that happened. There were less people on there.
Okay, yeah, I love that you're looking at the bright side.
That's, the first thing so far.
So in today's money, if you wanted to buy the most expensive ticket on the Titanic, it would cost you $100,000. Chump change.
I have no frame of reference for what cruises cost, so
I mean, it just depends, like, on the cruise that you're going on. Like, a really cheap one, like, maybe
I mean, I
if it's
say
only-
cruise, but like this isn't leisure anymore. They don't have the option of just taking an airplane for practicality. This
Yeah.
like was practical at
Yeah.
that day. So like,
Yeah.
eh?
I don't know. Anyway. So, yeah, super tragic. The Titanic, people
Wait,
thought
no,
it-
you fly planes. You know, you have a
What?
frame of reference for that.
I've been on I don't fly planes, Joe. That makes
Well-
me sound like I'm a pilot. I've been on airplanes.
Yeah, she's been on airplanes. I've only driven places.
Uh-huh.
So is that reasonable?
Is what reasonable?
What was it? $10,000 first class?
Oh, it was $100,000.
$100,000 first class?
The answer is no. But that's because an airplane, like, that would be like if you were going to take a boat for 8 hours.
Oh. Yeah, I
Like,
get-
you wouldn't charge $100,000 for 8 hours a time. The people that were on the Titanic, I mean, actually, that's a good question that I did not answer in this episode, is how long the trip was actually supposed to take. Okay, well, anyway, another question that you may have about the Titanic: how did the captain, crew, and passengers escape the Titanic? Well,
Wait, the captain escaped?
yeah,
He's not supposed to escape. He's
No.
supposed to get everyone else off first.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. So, there was the cruise line that was doing the Titanic. They're called. I mean, I don't know if you could call them a cruise line, but it was the company that was in charge of the boats. White Star Line. They had so much confidence in the Titanic. They're like, "Oh, this thing isn't gonna sink. It's
And
literally
they're especially brittle and large ship.
in their large brittle ship, where the people don't have
Are we
binoculars."
missing something here? Because why on earth? Why do they keep saying having so much confidence in an apparently more brittle than average ship?
That's what makes this story so crazy. I mean, I don't know about you. I have always like been kind of like interested in the story of the Titanic, you know, the movie The Titanic. Like I've seen it many times. And it's just really interesting. A lot of people are really interested in it, so it's interesting, yes, because there was so much false confidence. And but this is the first time that I did realize, I mean, I learned that the ship material was brittle. Like that's just so that's embarrassing for this company.
Bizarre.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, they're so confident, this company, they decided they only needed to have 20 lifeboats on board. So 1,500 people perished at sea as a result.
Well, then.
And what was stupid too is they could have fit more people in the lifeboats, but they just, I don't know, it was like handled very poorly.
No one counted.
Yeah. So the White Star chairman, cowardly escaped on a lifeboat.
Oh, the chairman?
The chairman, yeah. So not the captain. The captain, he did sink with the ship. Because in
As he was trained to, surely.
Yeah, yes, exactly. In maritime tradition, a captain must make sure that all passengers are evacuated. As the leader of the ship, the captain must be the last person to exit. So, yeah. Yeah, lame. I mean, notice how, like, actually, I think they might have said this guy's name, the White Star chairman. They might have said his name. Like, I'm sure it's
Mr.
out there.
Titanic.
Mr. Titanic himself? Yeah, okay.
John Titanic.
The Titanic is considered to be one of the worst peacetime maritime disasters in history. So meaning like this wasn't during a time of war. It was literally just honestly people trying to leisure. People were like on vacation. Like that's the worst.
We're going to America.
Yeah. People love coming here.
I mean, we're going to America.
Okay. So rediscovering the Titanic. So I mentioned those marine geologists. The Titanic, after it sunk, it was untouched underwater for 70 years. Until 1985, an underwater geologist named Robert Ballard, he found remnants of the Titanic. A couple years later, in 1987, some wealthy folks invested in a submarine that would go down to visit the Titanic. So this part of the episode was kind of inspired by, there was a little bit of a tragedy that happened where some rich people today were trying to, you heard about it, no?
Yeah.
They were trying to go see the Titanic and then the submarine disappeared. but I think it's pertinent to mention that people have been doing it since 1987. So the first people that went down, they gathered the artifacts to sell back above sea.
As people are wont to do back in the day.
Yep. One artifact recovered from the Titanic is a purse made from alligator skin. There were even papers found inside of that purse that were in good condition because guess what? The alligator skin was waterproof and durable.
Oh, good. So the $3 bill's fine.
Another artifact recovered from the Titanic was a bracelet with the name Amy on it. So this is a mystery.
No.
Only one passenger named Amy was on the ship.
That's sad. That makes me sad.
No. She survived.
Oh. Whoever was wearing the bracelet didn't.
Okay, right. Well, it's like this person named Amy on the boat survived, but they never.
There's someone special didn't. Very sad.
Well, no. The bracelet was never able to be returned to Amy because they couldn't go underwater. Like it sunk, remember? And it was untouched for 70 years.
Oh, so she just left it. Okay.
Yeah, so her bracelet probably... she might not have even been wearing it. She might have been like the first one on the lifeboat, but she just like left her bracelet behind.
Well, I mean, I guess that's still a little sad, but
It's still sad, but I think it's cool, and I'm glad she survived. It's nice. Okay. So after the Titanic sunk, new policies were enacted that required more strict regulation of lifeboats and lifeboat practice drills. If you're listening in the classroom right now, this is why fire drills, earthquake drills, they're important, okay? Because you never know when you might be on the Titanic that's sinking. And guess what? If they had done lifeboat drills practicing beforehand, they probably wouldn't have been able to fit... I mean, they probably could not have fit everybody because, again, there were only 20 lifeboats. 2,200 people. That's 100 people on each lifeboat. I wonder how many... I guess I don't know how many people could fit on a lifeboat.
I mean, you've seen the movie, apparently.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know how... Some things in the movie aren't real. For example,
Leonardo DiCaprio. He's not real.
He wasn't... No, he... Okay, well, you know what? Whatever. Leonardo... He's real.
He's real to me.
He's real to me. Okay. Engineers. They were able to... Okay, we're talking about Titanic reforms.
Yeah.
I mean, sea travel reforms. Things that happened that were good as a result of the Titanic.
They were also pretty big deals.
It's good to focus on the positive. Yes, engineers were able to improve the design of ships, less brittle material, for more reliable sea travel. The Radio Act of 1912 required all ships to have a 24-hour radio system to communicate with other ships at sea. A license is also required to operate a ship radio system, which I think is important to include because just because you hire somebody to operate the ship radio, that doesn't mean that they're going to do a good job. So when you have something like a license, that makes it so you're going to have a good ship radio operator. Okay.
I mean, how hard could it be? I mean...
I'm sure you could do it.
We haven't sunk yet. Do.
We haven't sunk yet. Over. Okay. In 1914, the International Ice Patrol was established to monitor dangerous icebergs.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, we gotta push this onto them too. They're just as at fault as everyone else.
What? No, the Ice Patrol. The International Ice Patrol didn't exist. Titanic sinks 2 years later. The international people get together. They say, you know what? Let's watch these icebergs.
Let's make a map of all the icebergs.
Yeah, and let's track when they're melting or whatever. I mean, they probably do that. You know, it's just good to be creative and have your own ideas and share them with people because then you get wonderful things such as the International Ice Patrol. Anyway, that doesn't really happen anymore. Now it's the U.S. Coast Guard that is responsible for the International Ice Patrol. I mean, it's like a subcategory. Yeah. Finally, last reform I'm going to mention, the Jones Act of 1920 allowed maritime staff to file a lawsuit against their employer. So this means that like one of those sailors on the ship, they could have like, now if you are working on a ship.
Sued that chairman while they were going down.
Yeah. They could have escaped the boat and been like, hey, this chairman, he didn't put enough lifeboats. Like if your crew on the ship, that gives you like more of a reason to like speak up for your rights and be like, hey, you know what? I know that there needs to be more lifeboats. So, yeah. Anyways, that's all I have about the Titanic. So let's go back over these trivia questions. Number 1. Which of the following is not a contributing factor to the Titanic sinking? You got it right the first time.
Yeah, the lifeboats.
It's not enough lifeboats, and it's exactly because you said, because the rest of these things
would have helped before the crash.
Yeah, like lifeboats are what save you from the crash, not what caused the crash.
Yeah.
That was the cause of people not being able to make it out. Okay, which artifact was found on the Titanic?
The skin.
An alligator skin purse.
Yeah,
Nice.
the
Not
purse.
a $3 bill, although there were papers inside. One answer that was fake that I wanted to mention is the sapphire gemstone, because in the movie The Titanic, you've seen it, right? There's
No.
a sapphire gemstone. They call it like the heart of the ocean or something like that.
The Hope Diamond.
And it's like lost at sea.
Very
and
cursed.
it's not real. Okay, and then number 3. True or false? A marine geologist is someone who studies the history and structure of the ocean floor.
This is true.
It is true. Very nice job, Joe. We don't have a creative challenge this week, but if you'd like to write us in, contact us with questions or comments, ideas for episodes, you can message us at cozyrainbownv@gmail.com. And if you want to check out our website for teaching resources, classroom resources, if you're a teacher, we have stuff on TPT. You can visit our website for merch and worksheets, cozyrainbow.org. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening.